Hello and welcome back to Supernova. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after Nick, the guy in the middle, the raccoon, um, ended up waking up and finding out that he's basically the new Templar, and that the old one passed away after having, I guess, bequeathed his bracelet of power, I guess you could call it, to Nick. But I think he was already dying, so it was sort of more of a case of I kind of have to find someone to give it to instead of, finding the right person. It's more of, okay, kid, you're like the nearest person here. Have it. I'm sorry, but anyways, so yeah, let's see what happens. Sleep doesn't afford me much clarity as I'd like. There's a bland breakfast waiting for me when I wake up, which I promptly consume, all while my thoughts race to make sense of everything that's been happening. Before they spiral out of control, though, I'm interrupted by Gil. Nick, Unbound has indicated that she would like to speak with you. She will be here in a moment. Unbound? All right. I had just started considering talking with one of the Sentinels, but Unbound wouldn't have been my first choice. She never offered to in the first place, but even beyond that, I think I already know what she'll have to say in response to my doubts. As Gil stated, the bear gets here within 5 minutes. I'm dressed and sitting on the bed, waiting when she steps into the room, this time without the use of her powers. Good afternoon, Nick. Hi, hello, Unbound. You wanted to speak with me? With a nod, she surveys the room and then seems to decide to stay standing. I believe we should discuss your current situation. I clench and unclench my right fist, eyes fixed on the figure etched into the metal of the wristband, and after a long moment, I look up at the bear. Sure. Then, you think I'm actually cut out for this? You have the bracelet. That should be indication enough that you are. How does this even work? Did the bracelet approve of me, or did Templar? Judging from what you told us, which I am inclined to believe, it was a combination of both. I rub the fur on my arm, thinking. You said yesterday that I don't have a choice. That was perhaps an inaccurate assessment. It is not that you don't have a choice. Rather, there is an obvious correct choice and an obvious wrong one. I believe you know which is which. My stomach twists into a knot. I'm just. It's scary. Unbound continues to regard me, her expression not shifting. If she feels any sympathy, her voice doesn't show it. A perfectly natural and understandable response. Nevertheless, I believe that you can, and should, work through that fear. I hug my arms and avert my gaze again. It's becoming clear to me now that a part of me was excited for what I could be doing with this, but that feeling has all but evaporated now. Unbound exhales, looking a little frustrated, which does nothing to calm my nerves. Nick, you have been given an opportunity most folks don't get, to do something great with your life, be part of something bigger. You haven't just acquired powers beyond most people. Templar is a symbol that has inspired millions. He brought this team together. He protected this city, this country, and this earth against a myriad threats. We need that symbol now. As far as I am concerned, to reject this call would be inconceivable. Shit. That is overwhelming. Everything Unbound just said makes me feel so small and weak. I can't be a goddamn symbol. I'm just a college kid. She told me herself yesterday that she doesn't believe I can live up to Templar. So why? My heart is racing. I know she's right. I do. I think this is what the Badger was asking of me, to take on this burden. Maybe that's why he said he was sorry. Because he knew how overwhelming it was going to be. Unbound walks over to the only chair in the room, moving the stuff Gil left for me, and sits. Nick, I don't want to give you the wrong idea. For the first time, her Candace changes. She speaks in a kinder tone now, and even her expression softens. I will not sugarcoat this in an attempt to reassure you. That would be unfair to you and to Templar. This is going to be difficult, but with our guidance and support, you will be able to pull through. Do the best that you can do. And if I say no, you will go back to your old life with no regrets, I hope. I'm silent for a while longer, but then a nervous chuckle escapes me. Sorry. I promise I'm not usually this indecisive. Quite frankly, Nick, if you had jumped at the opportunity, I would be questioning your judgment. That you are weighing your options is a sign that you're taking your situation seriously. Right. Then, would you mind if I take a little more time to think? Of course. Let Gil know when you are ready to talk again. I'll do that. Thank you, Unbound. She hesitates in the doorway, but then her cape swishes as she rounds the corner, and I'm left alone. It doesn't take me long to decide that pacing around is doing less than nothing for me, though, even if I said I needed to think. There are two people who offered to talk about this. Maybe I should take one of them up on that offer? And there was one who didn't, but it could still be worth it to hear him out. Okay, I've done all three of them on my own. And okay, so in a if it were the real world and I had to choose, I would probably pick the Baron because I mean, he's the one that knew Templar, I guess, the longest or the most, or personally. So he would have a better idea of what it would be to be Templar or anything about Templar. Super Fang is the youngest of all the heroes and the newest. So if I wanted an idea of how fun it would be or how cool it is to be a superhero, then I would go to Super Fang. Plus he's a tiger, so I would naturally gravitate to him. Um but if I wanted a bit more friendly but maybe still be a bit more like actual conversation about what it would be to, what's needed to be a superhero, then I would go to this guy. And, he's not the antagonistic, person that the Baron is. But, I guess because it doesn't really matter yet. No, actually, it kind of does, because if you go to Super Fang, he actually moves you to a better room. Um, mm, okay, for the purposes of this playthrough on YouTube, I'm gonna pick Super Fang. Well, maybe some people might like this guy, or it would be a toss up on YouTube between these two. But on my own personal playthrough, it's going to be the Baron because I feel that the Baron is the obvious, better choice. And although I could probably do all three for YouTube, I don't want to. Because let me tell you, reading, although it's easy, ugh. But anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna pick Super Fang because it's a tiger. I'm a sucker for tigers. You know, it's still hard to believe Vince Morley is, in fact, Super Fang. He was a pretty popular kid in school, but unlike some, he was also nice about it. He wasn't a jock, although I think he played a bit of football. Actually, he was kind of a dork, way into theater. He played Romeo his senior year. I was one of the minor servant characters in that production. The memory brings a smile to my muzzle. It would be nice to catch up. Plus, he seems to be the youngest one around here. I'd appreciate his perspective on this whole thing. Gil, is Super Fang around? Super Fang is not at the headquarters at this time. Mind letting me know if he comes? I'd like to chat. I will alert him of your desire to speak. There's not much to do for me, but wait, I guess. Fortunately, my phone was charged when I found it last night. I checked in with Lucas again. He asks about calling again, but I turn him down with the same excuse I gave last time. Telling him that I'm bored out of my mind and eager to get back into college seems to amuse him, and he doesn't question me much further. After exchanging several messages, I turn to browsing the internet. Still nothing on Templar or what happened in Magnolia Hills. I find some old videos of Templar fighting various supervillains. Some of those fights are brutal. It doesn't fill me with confidence. This is the kind of stuff I should expect if I choose this path. At least, I'll get to fly, I guess. I stand up and stretch, then walk it to the middle of the room, raising the arm with a bracelet. Now, how do I summon the armor? I try concentrating. Nothing happens. I conjure the image of the glowing armor as I saw it in my mind. Still nothing. Armor! Nope. Armor, please? Yet again, nope. I guess this is another question I'll need to ask. After pacing around the room for a bit, I decide to lie back down on the bed, not bothering to undress and doze off. Sup, buddy? I'm jerked back to wakefulness by the sudden arrival of Super Fang. He's standing in the doorway holding a plastic bag. Sorry, didn't mean to wake you up, but Gil said that you wanted to chat. It's alright, and yeah, I was hoping to. He's wearing his costume and mask again. I rub my eyes and chuckle at the sight. I've already seen your face, you know. Oh, yeah. I just didn't want to annoy Baron again. He steps into the room, then pauses and frowns as he looks around. Yo, Gil, why haven't you moved Nick to Templar's quarters? Baron in Black has not authorized me to do so, Super Fang. Ah, dang. The tiger scratches his ear. It's fine, I shouldn't be here that long anyway. Right? Nah, this sucks. Tell you what, you can move to my room instead. It's not a big deal. Vince just grins again and gently, but firmly starts pushing me out of the room. I manage to snatch the rest of my stuff from the table and chair as he does so. Do you come here often? Yep, but I rarely sleep here. Where is here? He hesitates. I don't know if I should tell you yet. I mean, I'd love to. I don't want to hide stuff or anything, since you're one of us now. It's just that Unbound and the Baron can be pretty strict with security. Yeah, I get it. Don't worry about it. I was just wondering if you get the electricity bill here. Vince laughs. I hope not. To be honest though, I have no clue. I don't deal with the logistics stuff. It's well hidden, if that's what you mean. We walk down a couple of narrow hallways, then emerge on a catwalk that overlooks a large cavern. Once we're back in the corridors, Vince presses a panel on one of the walls, which reveals a hidden door. Gil, go ahead and authorize Nick to access the place. Done, Super Fang. Neat. Come on in. The room looks like one might find in a fancy hotel. It's spacious, with a king-size bed that looks far comfier than the one I've been sleeping on for the past couple of days. There's a small wall display on the opposite side that is currently off. On the wall next to it, Vince has hung up a bunch of Super Fang posters. It looks like stuff fans of the superhero might make and sell. Cute. Make yourself comfortable. I flop into an oversized armchair. It's soft and warm. I got some spare clothes in here too, in case you need them. Might be a tad too big though. Vince, it's fine. You don't have to offer anything. He dismisses my comment with a wave of his paw. Oh yeah, I brought these. He tosses me the plastic bag. Figured you'd want something more fun than what Gil would be giving you. I open the bag and fish out several plastic containers with what looks to be gas station hot dogs in them. I look up at him in confusion. Vince smiles, scratching his ear again. You know, I remember you ate so much of this stuff at a party one time. Oh. Oh god. I didn't eat a whole bunch of the hot dogs at the party because I liked them. I'm embarrassed he remembers this at all. I mean, it's nice of him. I guess. Just, Unfortunate. I conjure up the most appreciative grin anyways. Thanks, Vince. This should satisfy some cravings. His ears perk up at that. Heh, I figured. The tiger sits on the bed and stretches while I open one of the containers and put the hot dog in my mouth. Tastes like bad decisions. Gulping it down, I put the rest aside. Anyway, I wanted to talk about all of this superhero stuff. Shoot. Now that we're having the conversation, I realize I don't know where I want to start. Should just get straight to the point. What do you think I should do? He tilts his head to the side. Still unsure, huh? He gives me a toothy grin. I think you'll be an amazing addition to the team. I don't know. I would have no idea what I'm doing. So what? Neither did I. When I first got my powers, I figured it out. He does a fist pump. And so will you. Besides, I'll be at your side. You'll be a pro at this. I just know it. Standing up, he approaches me and puts both paws on the high armrest, standing over me as he continues grinning. It's fun too, for the most part. Most importantly, we help people, yeah. The folks of Nova, heck, of the entire country, need us to be their protectors. They love Templar, and they'll love you. I glance at the posters again. Super Fang sure does have a lot of fans. And his enthusiasm is infectious. I smirk at him. Selling this pretty hard, eh? Eager to no longer be the youngest one on the team? His ears splay back at my teasing. He looks to the side, eyes downcast. Shit, did I offend him? Just kidding, Vince. Listen, I know I disappointed everyone. I messed up bad. I was too late to get there, and now Templar's dead. His eyes snap back to me, his expression brightening just as suddenly. But I won't let something like that happen to you. The sudden lapse in his demeanor throws me for a loop. It wasn't your fault. It all happened so fast. He shakes his head. What I'm saying is, I'm here for you. Sure, it will take you some time, but you have the bracelet, so you're halfway there already. I can teach you the stuff you'll need to know. We'll get you in better shape. Not that you're in bad shape right now, of course. Just need a little muscle is all. He sounds more and more excited with every word out of his muzzle. Oh, gonna be my gym coach too? Heck yes! We both laugh. The way the tiger leans over me, I can't help but stare at his chest. I catch a whiff of his cologne, some kind of tropical scent, a fruit maybe. It's pleasant. I admire the view a little, discreetly. His uniform does a great job of accentuating every curve of his muscles. The way his arms are left exposed too is hot. I should be focusing on his words right now. His eyes are up there, Nick. So, what'd you say? I scratch behind my ear thinking. Having someone like Vince at my side would make this easier. I can't deny that. Part of me is still scared, but he seems so sure I can do this that I'm starting to believe it too. Alright then, with Super Fang with me, it seems I have nothing to fear, do I? I'll do it. Yes! Vince slaps me on the shoulder, almost sending me to the floor. Ouch, careful, I haven't had any training yet. We'll get you there. Gil, call a meeting with the team. As you wish, Super Fang. The tiger turns back to me. We can get started on the training right now, actually. I glance at his muscled arms and gulp. Like, right now? We have time to kill until the others get here, no? I guess. Come on then. He throws an arm around my shoulder and pushes me to the door. I'm still anxious about all of this, but there's a great deal more excitement now too. Also, I wanted to say sorry for not remembering you yesterday and calling you scrawny. You are forgiven. My tone is teasing, but he gives me a sheepish smile anyway. I get a breather while the team assembles for another meeting about me. To my relief, I don't have to wait too long. Everyone is already in their seats. This time around, it's Nisus who isn't wearing his mask. Turns out he's quite a handsome Corsic fox. Vince gives me 2 thumbs up when I enter, while Nisus merely nods at me. The Baron and Unbound, as always, are harder to read. As you all know, Nick has decided to keep the bracelet. As such, he will assume the persona of Templar. Why? Shouldn't we call him Squire or Stable Boy, or something more appropriate to his station and experience? I can't tell if the Baron is just mocking me, or if he's serious. Part of me wants to object to what Unbound said as well, even if I'm not about to suggest other demeaning aliases for myself. After all, I am not Templar, bracelet or not. This is a matter of practicality. It should be prudent for the Sentinels to keep the truth of Templar's demise a secret. Really? Nisus sits back in his chair, scratching his chin. That makes sense. We wouldn't want to advertise that we've been weakened. Precisely. Moreover, we have very few leads on the killer. The news that he failed in his attack on Templar may drive him out of hiding. Oh. I guess I'm going to be bait. At least, I'll have a shiny new set of armor to protect me. I stifle my nervous laugh. Shouldn't the people of Nova be allowed to mourn their fallen hero? There's an uncomfortable silence. As much as I'd like for that to be the case, I do think that's not our best option right now. The Baron huffs, but doesn't argue any further. So, I'm just supposed to pretend that I'm Templar? The actual Templar? For the moment, Nick, you're supposed to stay out of sight. Which brings us to our next topic. Nick, Templar requires training. That's an understatement. I can't even summon the armor right now. I may have been in some scrapes, but I'm not a fighter, and I have no idea how to handle a weapon of any kind. In short, I'm a mess. It would be for the best if one of us took over said training, or more precisely, one of you 3. There are matters that demand far too much of my attention. I look at the others. Vince raises his hand as if he was sitting in class. It's kind of adorable. I already promised Nick that I'd help him. I can do it. Wouldn't it be better if we spread the duty around between all of us? That would put undue strain on Nick. It is easier to assign him one mentor. The Baron turns his mask to Vince. All due respect and all that, champ, but I think someone a little more experienced should handle the training. Nisus, since you have buddied up with the rookie, why not take him under your wing? I don't think that's a good idea. I'm surprised at the reluctance. Nisus seems like he would make an excellent mentor to me. Hey, I may be the youngest, but that's a good thing, right? I went through all the same things as Nick not that long ago myself. I can help him. I believe that the Baron is right, Super Fang. The mentor role is not to be taken lightly. Which is why I think you should do it, Baron. Wait, what? Is that something I would want? You are the most experienced. Perhaps more importantly, you knew Templar best. Nick needs that. As thrilling as wiping the snot off the rookie's nose would be, I'm sure I would have much better things to do with my time. Let one of the youngsters handle him. Nisus, stop being stubborn. The fox crosses his arms and averts his gaze. If I have to, I could. You don't have to. I'm telling you guys, I can train Nick. I've been in this for 4 years now. I'm not new. I can tell that this argument might be becoming circular. Perhaps I should weigh in with my own opinion? Although I'm not even sure myself. What they're saying all makes sense. I like Vince. He seems like a great guy and he's eager to help me out. But he's just 2 years older, and even if he got his powers earlier than I did, a more experienced mentor might be better for me. Nisus has made it clear that he doesn't want to mentor me. To be honest, that hurts a little. I thought he liked me. He did say he's gonna do it if he needs to, and he is more experienced than Super Fang while not being an asshole like the Baron. Speaking of which, the Baron. The Baron scares me a little. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't actually hurt me. But he sure seems to dislike having me around. Would it be a good idea to entrust myself into his paws? On the other hand, he is the most experienced of the three, and if he was that close with Templar, it might be worth spending time around him. The Sentinels keep talking over each other as I contemplate my options. Who should I go with? As I said earlier, the Baron is the obvious better choice because he's the one that's been there the longest, who knew the Templar, and he seems more well equipped to train Nick. And Nisus just doesn't seem that he wants to do it either because he doesn't feel that he would be a good mentor, or just for whatever reason. And Super Fang is the most inexperienced because right now he's in his stage where it's like, oh yeah, the public eye, etc., etc. But in reality, that's probably a detriment. But like I said, for YouTube it's gonna be Super Fang, but on my own it's gonna be the Baron in Black. So as I play it on my own and as I record it, I'm gonna like point out the differences. Okay? So it's gonna be Super Fang, even though I think it should be the Baron in Black. I like the tiger. I see no reason why he wouldn't be able to guide me on this path. Yeah, he's a little young, but as he pointed out, that just means he knows what it's going to be like for me. If I'm gonna navigate college while playing superhero, might as well have someone at my side who has already done so. At least, I'm pretty sure Vince went to college. I think Super Fang should mentor me. Vince's muzzle splits into a giant grin. Told ya guys! You won't regret it, Nick. I notice Unbound and the Baron exchange pensive glances. Nick, I think it would be for the best if Baron or Nisus did this for you. I think it'll be just fine. I've seen enough of Super Fang on the news to know he's a pro at what he's doing. I know I can count on him. Heck yeah, you can! Very well, so be it. Nick, rest assured that you are in good hands. Vince nods rapidly to that. The rest of us will be around to help as well, of course. From what was said earlier, I'm guessing that this means Unbound and maybe the others will be keeping an eye on how my training with Vince is progressing. Not about to complain, even if I have full faith in the tiger. But I will reiterate that for now, your task is to lay low until you get the hang of your newfound strength. Sure, yeah, I understand. I glanced down at the bracelet. Is there anything I can do on my own, though? I don't have a good grasp of my, powers. I tried to summon the armor, but nothing happened. Baron? The Baron taps his fingers on the table. Can't help you there. You'll have to figure that out on your own. As for what the bracelet can do, you have already seen most of it. The armor is extraordinarily resilient, and the mace is no joke either. You will be able to fly, although not indefinitely like some. Should the armor be damaged, the bracelet will repair them over some time. It will also repair your body to an extent. I frown at that, raising a hand to my chest. Yes, you might have noticed that you recovered faster than you would have under normal circumstances. Now, before you do anything stupid with that information, know that it will not save you from mortal wounds. It accelerates what your body can do on its own, nothing more. I will keep that in mind, thanks. Just make sure nobody can see you when you summon the armor. Hell, don't even try unless one of us is around. Huh, Well, I doubt I'll follow this last bit of advice, but I nod along anyway. With that settled, we have one more urgent matter to discuss, that being the identity of Templar's murderer. Not much to say there, unless one of you has discovered something new. Nobody I've contacted has heard of a canine supervillain in black with shiny green fists, including Greg. Who, by the way, has been writing my ass about the new Templar's identity. You haven't told him yet? Didn't we just talk about how we wouldn't? Like that ever stops you? Unbound gives both a warning look accompanied by a chagrined sigh. I suppose Gregory should be informed. He will be impossible to avoid at the funeral. If you say so. I have no idea who this Greg person might be. Another superhero, maybe? But something else catches my attention. When's the funeral? Monday. I feel a lump forming in my throat, but I continue talking anyway. I'd like to come. Why? You didn't even know him! Nisus ignores the Baron. If you want to, Nick, I see no problem with that. I'm sure you want to pay your respects. Yeah, thanks. I can tell the Baron is unhappy, but before he can argue, Unbound brings the conversation around to the previous topic. Regardless of the wolf's identity, what is curious to me is how Templar came across him, and why he didn't call for backup sooner. Vince shuffles in his chair, his ears splayed back. He mentioned blaming himself for being too late to help. I want to give him a pat on the arm, but maybe this isn't the best time. As I told you, nothing on the recordings from the day suggests anything was amiss until he left the base. Indeed, my own time going over them showed as much. For all we know, Templar tried to stop him from some criminal activity and it escalated from there. I believe that to be likely, but I could find no incidents from that afternoon worth our attention. So we have nothing then? It appears so. I don't have anything to offer to this discussion. The four of them have heard all I know, and I've described Templar's killer in as much detail as I could. Either way, I will talk with Greg again. I hope I can keep the conversation with him brief. You know how he is. Nisus chuckles. We appreciate your sacrifice. You better. For the first time since I've met them, they sound friendly with each other. Well, I guess they are teammates after all. Very well. Keep us updated, Baron. As for you, Nick, you should be good to return to your residence tomorrow. I perk up a little at hearing that. I won't deny that finding myself in the Sentinel's hideout has been thrilling in its own way, but I'm eager to return to my own bed. It's a pity I won't get to enjoy the benefits of Vince's hospitality for long. Then again, I felt bad about forcing him out of his own room. I trust that you can keep everything that's happened secret. If you need to, we can discuss the specifics of that before you leave. I think I've got that covered, but I can run it by you if you'd like. Unbound nods to that. I can drive you to your college sometime in the afternoon. How does that sound? Yeah, that'd be great. After I make sure it's safe. You kids take care of that. You. He points to me. Come with me. Where? You'll see. It's just a small matter before you leave. What is this about? A precaution. Nisus gives him a long, tense look. Play nice. Yeah. Alright, Nick, you'll be fine. I get even more nervous at that, but I nod back at the fox regardless before following after Baron. To my surprise, the Baron leads me straight to the med room. He says something to Gil while we're walking, speaking in a low enough voice that I can't hear the individual words. I don't know if it's on purpose, but it puts me on edge. As we enter, my eye is drawn to the small table where I spot a rather oversized syringe. The Baron picks it up and turns to me. What the hell is that? A tracking chip. What? Absolutely not. Listen, rookie. You'll thank me when you inevitably get your ass in trouble and need our help. So quit whining and put up your sleeve. Fine. Is this necessary? I value my peace of mind very highly, so yes. I'm touched that you care so much about my well-being. I roll up my sleeve and grit my teeth. Keep dreaming, rookie. I'm concerned about the bracelet. Of fucking course he is. The syringe plunges into my flesh, but it doesn't hurt too badly. Now stay put until Super Fang picks you up. Before I can retort, the Baron is already out the door. I'm so glad he's not going to be mentoring me. Hopefully, I'll deal with him as little as possible. I rub my arm. It's a little sore, but nothing compared to what my chest felt like a couple of days ago. What am I supposed to do for now? I guess I should go back to Super Fang's room. Vince will know to find me there. I wish one of the four would give me a proper tour of the place, since technically I'm part of the team now. Maybe my new mentor will do so when we begin training. I wonder if everyone has left by now. What would they be up to all day, anyway? Patrolling the city, maybe? Regardless, I'll learn soon enough what the day-to-day life of a superhero is like. I stare again at the reddish band. I've been doing that a lot. The reality of it all is sinking in. I'm a superhero now. A freaking superhero. Damn. I can't deny the excitement, but there is fear there too. My mind flashes back to the images of the snarling wolf smashing his fists with ungodly force into Templar's armor. Over and over again. The badger inside the armor bleeding, broken, dying. My breathing speeds up. The pounding of my heart is deafening. All the traces of the thrill I was feeling are gone. Nick, I detect that you are in distress. No, I'm fine. It's fine. I force myself to breathe. Slow, even breaths. Gradually, my heartbeat returns to normal. It won't happen to me. The Sentinels know they have a deadly enemy out there now. They won't let harm come to me in that way. No way. Still, trembling a little, I manage to push the thoughts aside. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'll be alright. I have people to guide me. Everything is gonna be fine. Before Vince comes to pick me up the next day, I have a brief chat with Unbound, going over what I should tell people when I'm out there again. She seems satisfied with my ability to cover my tracks, so the talk doesn't last long. By the time we're supposed to leave, I'm desperate to be out in the sun again. Naturally, my phone informs me that it's going to be overcast. I can't complain about the company, at least. I'm amused to see Vince's car is only slightly less shitty than mine. I guess superheroics don't pay well. Vince apologizes about the sorry state of the ride before I can get a single word out. He looks embarrassed about it too, so I assure him it's fine. We're in the large cavern I've glimpsed a couple of times during my stay there, which I know now serves as a garage. Anyway, Nisa says that we're good to go. Did he, I don't know, go check my dorm room or something? No idea. I mean, you could sneak in there if you wanted to, without much trouble. Oh, right, you have a roommate. Maybe not then. Alright. We get in the car and start riding down a narrow tunnel. Vince has pushed his seat almost all the way back. I examine the tunnel as we drive. The rocky walls and ceiling in the cavern suggest that we're underground somewhere. I'm proven right as the path slopes upwards and I spot an entrance sliding open for us. We emerge onto a dirt road, and as I glance to the side mirror, I see the entrance close again, leaving a perfectly innocent patch of ground. We're up in Saltfords Park. Vince seems to have noticed me looking around. Don't worry, this part is private property, and Gil monitors the entrances. How was this all built? Gil has a lot of bodies. Like, robotic ones? Yep. I ponder that while Vince drives us onto a proper road. Guess that explains who takes care of the facility. It would be silly to expect the Sentinels to do it, and hiring staff would be out of the question. Nova glitters in the distance. Salt's Fort is one of the largest parks in the state. I've hiked here a couple of times. The lush forests are a perfect complement to the sandy beaches to the west. It's not too far from the city either, so the Sentinels could be back there in a short time. Well, the flying ones at least. Do you usually drive all the way up here? Nope, Nisus is the only one who does. How do you get around then? Vince grins. I'll show you during our first training session. We're quiet for a bit. I gaze out the window, appreciating the view of the city. Hey Vince, I guess I haven't asked. What have you been up to since high school? Besides the Super Fang stuff, I mean. The tiger holds the steering wheel with one paw, scratching his cheek with the other. Not much, really. Did pre-med at Nova U. Now I'm taking a year off to shadow some doctors to prep me for med school. The surprise I'm feeling must be showing because Vince's whiskers twitch and he gives me a nervous glance. What? Nothing, just unexpected, I guess. You were so into theater, I figured you'd go into the arts. Oh, no, not really. My parents didn't want me to, and I wasn't about to disappoint them. Huh. My own parents weren't thrilled when I decided to major in English, so I get where he's coming from. Did you do any drama stuff in college? No, was too busy. I feel a pang of disappointment. It's cool he's studying to become a doctor, but the tiger was so passionate about theater. I don't think I've seen any other high schooler get into it as much as Vince would whenever we were putting on a show. He almost always got the lead parts too. Honestly, with his looks, he could have become a famous actor. What about you? Still in it? Not quite. I began writing instead, and I was awful at acting anyway. Don't say that, dude. You had a great voice. You were a godsend for musicals. Not inaccurate. I can indeed sing, but I'm nowhere near as good as Vince is making it sound. I beam at him anyway. You know, I'm so glad you decided to do this. Meaning? Join us. Become a superhero. For a bit, I wasn't sure you would. I tilt my head, thinking. Well, I won't lie. Unbound didn't make it sound easy. Good thing you were there to deliver the pitch then, huh? Glad I had such a receptive audience. We chat a little more about this and that. Turns out Vince does some volunteer work as well. I can't comprehend how he manages to pull it off since he is also a freaking superhero. When I ask, he reacts with an awkward smile. We're soon in the city and it doesn't take long from there to get to Grifton. Vince drops me off near my dorm. Oh, forgot to ask, you want me to drive you to the funeral tomorrow? No, I'm good. I should be able to get my car back by then. You sure? Neat. Frank lives nearby, and I was gonna pick him up. Might as well all go together. So Nisus' real name is Frank. That's one mystery solved. You know what? Sure. Text me alright. Sounds good. Nisus didn't mention he lived near Grifton. I wonder if I'd ever seen him in his civilian guise, unaware of his true identity. Doubt it. Nova is a huge city with way too many people. Vince waves before driving off. And actually that's where I'm gonna cut it off for today because it's already a little over an hour. So yeah. So we got to meet or got to be a bit more personal with at least Super Fang or Vince. And we got to see this guy without his mask. We'll actually get to see a little bit more of the Baron later and Unbound at the funeral. So yeah. So far, what do you guys think? Do you like the story so far? Are you intrigued by, Tiger or anyone else? I'm interested to see how he's going to be able to summon the armor. I'm assuming it has some like heroic thing that, he has to do in order to summon it. Like he has to prove that he's actually heroic and not just, that he wasn't just chosen. He has to do something in order to make it come out, I guess. And as much as I was prepared to just pick the Baron in Black despite people like going like, oh, you should have picked the Fox or the Tiger, I decided to go with the Tiger because he seems like the most fun out of all of them, and the Fox was just like super like not into it. He's probably more like a I don't want to say an introverted person, but he kind of does come off of that. Like he's okay with talking to you and standing up for you or whatever, but like he's probably more like, okay, that's enough. I don't really want to mentor you because I'm probably not. He probably knows that his skill set is not in line with what is necessary for him to become Templar. Or something Templar-like. And I still stand by my assertion that the Baron in Black is probably the best choice. But I'm still going to go with the Tiger. It's always going to be Tiger, I guess. I'm a sucker for tigers. It's the stripes. Anyways, so who would you have picked? Would you have picked Super Fang, Nisus, or the Baron in Black? Or would you have picked Unbound if you were able to? Because she was probably like, I do not want to, have to deal with this little kid. I'm gonna just put it all on the other three. Anyways, so yeah, write down in the comment section who you would have picked, and if you guys have done this visual novel already on your own, does that make a difference? I mean, I think I got to this part, like where I saved it at, and I haven't done past this, so I don't know if this, if this is gonna have like major repercussions, down the line. I'm assuming that only the dev would be able to tell me, but I'm pretty sure they're not gonna tell me. It would be nice if I got a hint, because I know at least one of you watches my videos, so come on, you can give me a little hint. But anyways, so yeah, thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Supernova yourself and pick a different route, a different person, then you can find it over on itch, and you can find a direct link to it on the creators, the developers Twitter pages, which I will link to in the description. And I don't believe that they have a Patreon yet, so as soon as they do, or as soon as I find the link, if they do, I will post it down in the description as well. And I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.